And here's the decisions I'm going to give you today that you should make. The decision you should make is to dominate and not compete. Let me explain. If you look at the Olympics, you'll see runners on a field, in track and field, and when the gun goes off, they all move in it looks like a herd. But in recent Olympics, Usain Bolt has dominated. It looks like when he's running, he's only running against himself. When he runs against time, not against people. When he breaks world records, he's running against time, not against people. When Michael Phelps in the last Olympics became the most decorated Olympian in history, he wasn't competing with people, he was competing with history. He made a choice to do something no other Olympian has ever done before. He was competing with history, not with people. He was competing with time, not with people. When you make a decision to dominate, the world of competition is over. There is no more competition. And as long as you choose to compete, you will always lose. Because if someone has done something and you do something better than them, you feel good about yourself. But my question is as much as you could have done. So let me explain competition versus domination in ACN. A new person joins in ACN, and their competition starting day one is their feelings. You're competing against the fear you have of picking up the phone to invite for a home meeting or picking up the phone to get a customer. You're competing back and forth with your fear. You're nervous. You're brand new, which means you're not really prepared. And no matter how much we prepared you, it doesn't prepare you for the world that it actually is, because nothing beats experience. But when you're brand new, you're competing with your fears. But when you make a decision to become a world-class business owner and not a hacky amateur, you will dominate your fears. Now, you don't need time to do that. You need to make a decision to do that. Let me explain. I remember when I was brand new and I was getting my first customers, and they told me that my goal was to get 50 customers. And they gave me 60 days to do it. And when I got started, 50 customers was 50 people, because we had long distance only. So they gave me 60 days to get 50 customers. I got 54 in my first 30 days. And the way that I got 54 in my first 30 days was in my first week in the business, I was doing the business from a place of competition. I was being nervous about what I was doing because I was brand new. But at some point in time, going into that second week, I got sick and tired of being like a scared man in his own business. You see, I want you to imagine as a business owner being scared in your own business. I want you to imagine Steve Jobs being scared about his own business. Bill Gates being scared. No, what these people did, what Mark Zuckerberg is doing, is they decided to dominate in their business. They aren't competing, they're dominating. Apple dominates. Facebook dominates. Because the leaders of the organizations don't come from a competitive space, they come from a domination space. You see, a dominant leader in ACN knows that 100 points is not a goal. 100 points is just the way it is. 100 points is the norm. A dominant leader in ATN understands having a home meeting is not a goal. Having a home meeting is not something I would try to do. People who dominate in their field don't think like that. They don't think, I'm going to try and go to the national event. They don't think, they don't try anything. They do. Competitive people, unfortunately, don't think like that. You see, because competitive people compete against circumstances. So let me explain. If I have the money, then I'll do it. You see, in that situation, the money and you are competing against one another. If I have the money, I'll go to San Jose. See, in that conversation, there is no domination. You and money are fighting against one another, and either you're going to win because you think you can, or money's going to win because you think it can. But someone who dominates a situation, the situation bends to their will. You see, how I got my 54 customers in 30 days was, you're going to become my customer because I demand that of myself, and because you're my friend, and you're my family member, and I want your support, and I'd support you, I need you to become my customer. See, I would have gotten 100 customers had they told me 100, because I didn't want to compete anymore. I wanted to dominate. My home meetings exploded, not from 1 or 2 or 3 people to 10 to 15 people every time I had them, because I was tired of competing with people. I wanted to dominate. So how did I dominate? I realized if you call more people showed up. A competitive person calls as many as they think they need to. A dominant person calls as many people as they need to guarantee the results they want. Most people live in competition. The elite live in domination. To get to team coordinator means that you have the ability to build a team that gets customers. To get to executive team leader means that you have the ability to build a team that gets customers. To get to executive team trainer means that you got customers. To get to regional director, same thing. Every position, same thing. So if all I need to do is to build a team and get customers, why can't I become a senior vice president in ACN? Because nothing changes. It's just doing more of it. But the difference between someone who gets to ETT and stops and senior vice president and gets rich is simply domination versus competition. See, competition not just with people, competition with yourself and competition with circumstance. As long as you're competing with something, it means you're not in control, which means you're not dominating. And as long as you're not dominating, you're going to be someone who lives under the umbrella of someone who does dominate. Because in any role, in any company, in any world, there's someone who's dominating. And if you don't know who they are, it means it's not you. So as long as it's not you, it doesn't matter who it is. If you can't dominate yourself, you can't dominate your circumstance. If flying across the country is too much for you, how are you going to get free? If getting a customer in business, a lady said to me, well, I like this, but I don't like sales. Well, then you need to give up, because everything is sales. You don't like the word sales? What are you, like a kindergartner?